Okay, welcome to the first official day of editing for Web 2300, Weber State University. Here we go. What we're going to go over today is setting up a new project in Premiere Pro. This class obviously focuses on Premiere Pro. I'll be teaching some shortcuts, how to load footage into Premiere, and this is probably okay. We'll be fine. We'll put some clips on a timeline, do some basic editing, learn how some of the tools work, and we'll get you off and running for this first assignment. When you open up Premiere Pro, you are only allowed to have one Premiere Pro project open at a time. That doesn't mean you can only edit one video at a time. One project can house a multitude of videos, and a multitude of projects. So don't get confused when I say sequence, timeline. I accidentally will call it a project, even though we are only working in one Premiere Pro project at a time. So what we need to do now, if I had other projects that I had open recently, this open project list would have a list of projects over here that I could just click on quickly and it'll open it. Those would be the recent projects. If your project doesn't show up on that list, you can click Open Project, and then it'll open this Finder window that'll allow you to seek out your PROJ file and open that. So if I hit Cancel, then it'll bring me back here. The reason for that is Premiere Pro has to have a project open in order for the software to be open. So we're going to click New Project, and we're going to set up a new project. This one I'm going to call Hallway Scene. That's the name of it. This, under Location, if you click Browse, this is the same as a Save As dialog box. So we need to navigate to our drive, which in my case is my desktop, to your Web 2300 folder, to our Hallway Scene folder, and then save it in the projects files. Click Choose. All the rest of this stuff, especially this, are thankfully almost days gone by. They have to keep it for video capturing technology that still is hanging on, but that's the only thing you need to worry about. The name of your project and where it's going to go. This stuff, this scratch disks, by default is same as project, which is a good idea to keep. This was going to allow Premiere to set up a bunch of folders inside that project folders directory. But that's all stuff that's managed by Premiere. You don't have to worry about going in there and touching anything. That's why we have a project files folder. It's so that Premiere can stick other stuff in there along with it. So click OK. Now Premiere is opening up. Here's your workspace. Top left-hand corner that I have highlighted right here, this is your source monitor. This is where you can preview your videos, preview the audio, take a look at the images that you have in your project over here, this window, when you're editing, this is what shows you your final project, your final product, what the output is going to look like. Down here, this is your timeline window. This is where you make your cuts, make your trims, this is where you do all your magic as far as timing goes. Down here in the bottom left corner, by default, hopefully yours looks like this. By default, this is where your project panel is going to sit. This is where you organize your assets and access them. So let's do that now. Let's import our video files into this project. There are three different ways. The most efficient way Well, the two most efficient ways are you can double click if there's space to double click in the negative space in your project panel, and that'll open up your import dialog box. The other most efficient way is the key command, Command I. I for import. Okay. Now the way that you may want to do it is to go up to your File menu and then go highlight Import and click, but the only reason why I'm showing you this is if you want to learn key commands, most of them are right here in your menu. It'll tell you Command I is the key command for that. That's how you commit that to memory. Just like Save As is Command Shift S, Save is Command S, Close is Command W. So many of your menus will have the key commands off to the side. So if you have to try and find a key command or have to use a menu to do something, every time you do that, try to remember that key command. And I'm at the point now where I know so many key commands that if I need to learn a new one, I will come up with reasons to have to use that key command at least 10 times in a row in order to commit it to my memory. Okay, so because one time it's not going to do it. It's after multiple times. So if you forget Command I for import, that's where it is. File, import, Command I. So I'm going to click on that. All right, here's how to import that footage that we put in the Assets folder. If you click on Assets, Video, this is all the video we're going to need for this project. If I click on one and click Import, then it'll import that one file. If I hit Command Z and then double click in here again, I can select all of these files and select Import, and that'll analyze all of them and dump them all right here in my project panel. Now, you want to organize your project in a very similar way to organizing your folders, and that is by using bins. I have to call them bins because that's what your video editor calls them. That's in the video editing world, a folder is a bin, but it's really just a folder. So if I want to import this entire folder as a bin in Premiere, then if I just select the video folder, it'll import that as a folder with all of its contents that are valid. When I say that are valid, there may be some invalid files in that folder, and then you'll get a little warning that says some of these things aren't friendly for video editors, and then you just click OK and it'll import everything but those. Alright, so I have a folder in my project. Let's pretend I'm just kind of importing things from random places. You can create a new folder down here by clicking on the new bin icon down in the bottom right hand corner of your project panel. And then you can just rename it New Assets. Okay. This project is super small. You're not going to need that folder, but let's call this one Sequences, because we are going to make a sequence even though it's only going to be one. Alright, there are two different ways to view things in the project panel. This is the thumbnail view. Is anybody like, hold on? Okay. Alright, okay, we'll keep going. This is the thumbnail view where you see things as thumbnails. There's also a list view, which I prefer because you can view your everything in a list. And if we twirl this down, we can see all the video files that are inside there. Now, let's preview one of these. Let's see how we did shooting this. The way you preview it is be careful with Premiere, because if I click again on the word it'll highlight it with a single click, and you can accidentally rename this file. If you rename this in Premiere, it does not rename the file on your computer. It just renames it so that Premiere can give it a name that will make more sense to you. So I don't know what this is, so I'm going to make sure I'm double clicking on this icon. This icon is a little film strip with a little waveform, which means this is audio and video. So if I double click on it, I can preview it in the source panel. See, it loads it up into the source panel so I can watch it. Here's your play button. But if I mouse over that play button, what does it have in parentheses next to play stop toggle?
Shortcut.
That's the shortcut. Okay, so in parentheses, that's the shortcut. Right hand on mouse, left hand on keyboard with your thumb on the space bar. That's what you're going to hit. Next to Command Z, you're probably going to hit the space bar more than anything. Play stop. So I'm going to just play this for a second.
Oh my gosh, Annie, how are you?
Great, how are you, Maddie?
When was the last time I saw you?
What, a couple semesters ago?
Spring for last, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my two-shot. So if I wanted to, I could rename this over in my project panel with a single click, two-shot. And that helps me know. Just to show you, if I Command Tab back over to Finder and take a look at this folder, actually, because I didn't have it open already, if I right click on this, I can tell it to show me the reveal in Finder. Show me the money. There it is. See, it didn't rename it on my computer, it just renamed it for my own reference. Okay. There's also other, if you scroll to the right in the list view, there's all sorts of other stuff you can fill in. You can tell it scene. You can mark these as good takes or bad takes, which are all filterable. You can write a description of the shot. You can write a little log note. A lot of this stuff is for when you have a really large library and you need to, like, it's kind of like indexing all your stuff so that you can search for it really easily. So this one, let's see. So this one's bad. In fact, it's so useless. I might as well just delete this from my project. I don't need it cluttering up my project. So I'm just going to hit delete with that selected and get rid of it. Because I remember the order that we shot these in, this one's my establishing shot. This one is the over the shoulder, so I'm going to call this OTS Annie. And then this one is a close-up of Annie. So actually I should call this Annie CU and then call this one Annie OTS. Because if it redoes this from a naming standpoint, Annie's shots will be together, and then Maddie's shots will be together. So this one, if I take a look at it, is Maddie. Looks like it's her close-up. And this one is Maddie OTS, over the shoulder. There, now I've renamed them all. Now when I'm editing this, if I say, oh, I wish I could find a clip of Maddie's over the shoulder shot, you don't have to remember that that was clip 001 or 007 or whichever. You now have your naming done, so you can access these a little bit faster. Question?
Are you, so like the close-up shots, are you naming it for who you're seeing? Or like, I mean, over the shoulder shots, so like ones that are over my shoulder, you're seeing Maddie more.
Mm-hmm.
So are those ones called the Maddie over the shoulder shots?
Maddie is the one I'm looking at, so that's why I named those Maddie. And Annie is the one I'm looking at in those, so that's why I named those Annie. So, yeah. Whatever makes sense to you is what works. If you're handing these off to another editor, then hopefully you guys are using a convention that makes sense. It makes sense that I would call this the Maddie shot because I'm looking at Maddie. She's the one I'm paying attention to. All right, now we need to make a new sequence. I'm going to show you the hard way and I'm going to show you the easy way. The hard way is if you're a wizard and you understand all the video settings that were shot, and you know the frame rate, the frame size, and the codec, and all that stuff, then you could just go down here, select New Item, and then select Sequence. Then you could go down and you could select the preset or all of the, go through one of these and select one of them that is all the settings that are identical to the clips that you're editing with. Okay, we will use a preset in this class later. The easy way, if you're not an encyclopedia of codecs and frame rates and frame sizes yet, is to simply right-click on any of these video files, because they were all shot with the same camera at the same time, and select New Sequence from Clip. Now we have a timeline that we can edit on that is all the same settings as the clip, as the footage that we're using. Okay. When it comes to these settings, this 23976, 1920 by 1080, all these different settings, or all these different properties, the most important one is the frame rate. Okay, if your frame sizes are different, hopefully at least the frame rate is the same, because if you put a 23976 clip on a 2997 timeline, then it creates a skipping effect that happens every 5 frames or so, and it's really annoying to watch. So this is the easiest way to make sure that your sequence is the same as your clip, and that is to make a sequence from the clip. Now I can rename this sequence Hallway Scene. You might end up changing this name if you end up doing different versions. And then you can just drag this up into your sequences folder or bin. It's actually a test question. What are folders called in Premiere Pro? They're called bins. Anyway, that's why I keep calling them bins. Then anytime we need to access this sequence, this is the asset in your project that houses all this stuff that you're going to put over here in your timeline panel. Okay? Now right now, I know I have this sequence that matches the video settings, so I'm just going to delete this first clip, and now we can start assembling clips on the timeline. I'm going to double click on this bin so that it comes up in its own window, just so I can show you how to preview clips as thumbnails. So this is its own, it looks like the project panel, but it's really a bin panel at this point. This bin panel can be docked, right now it's its own window. It can be docked by clicking on this bin words, and you can dock it here as a new tab inside your project panel. And if you click on any one of these thumbnails, you get a little playhead that shows up that you can drag sideways, and you can preview it in the thumbnail viewer here. If you want to view it big, you just double click on it and it shows up in your source panel and you can watch it there. I'm skipping over a bunch of stuff right now, but I at least want to get you putting clips in your timeline. Now real quick, before we put anything in the timeline, the reason why, if you take a look at my timeline, The reason why I have V1, A1, A2, A3, A4, and they're all highlighted with blue is because this particular camera records 4 tracks of audio. So I could have 4 sources of audio recording simultaneously if I wanted to do like, if I wanted to. But by default, this codec has 4 channels of audio, even though I only recorded 2. I recorded the first 2. So to prevent having to deal with 4 channels of audio every time I drag a clip down into the timeline, the way to prevent that is to turn off these bottom 4 audio tracks. That disarms them. So now if I drag something down into my timeline, I only get 2, which are the ones I recorded. Tracks 3, audio tracks 3 and 4 in the camera, just they don't have anything in them. There's nothing there, so they're just more objects in my timeline that I'm going to have to deal with that don't do anything. Question?
If I have the ones that are in the right column, the blue ones, but not the blue ones in the left column, is that a problem? Because I have
Like this?
I have I have the right set of V1, A1, A2, A3, A4, but I don't have the left set. Like you.
Oh. You can't turn that. Well, let me know if yours does something other than bring 2 down after I show you how to do that. All right, so I shot this shot first because I knew I wanted to establish the scene. The establishing shot says this is the location we're in. All right. So vocabulary here. This little diamond, or this upside down kind of diamond looking thing, that is the playhead. That is a marker that from the beginning of this clip to the end of this clip, that tells you where you're at in time. If you see down here, there's another one in the timeline. This is called the playhead. That is in time where you are sitting in your project. So that's your time indicator and your playhead. Okay. So you can drag this back and forth, or in your time ruler right here, you can just single click and it'll jump. You don't always have to like physically drag it. You can click anywhere and then start dragging. So however you want to manage where your playhead is up to you. You can also hit spacebar to play it and then stop it. Now we want to set an in and out point. If I drag this entire clip down as it is, I'm left with the entire clip front to back. I don't necessarily want that. I only want that from oh, I did something bad. Reveal in Finder. I didn't give you guys the establishing shot that I shot. That should have been clip 4.
Yeah, we got it.
You have clip 4?
If it was downloaded from the M drive, I got it. If we downloaded it from Canvas, I don't.
Okay, if you downloaded the zip file from Canvas, you don't have clip 4. If you did, then yeah, what they said. I would start this with clip 4. Let me pause this for a second. I'm going to go grab it. Okay, sorry for the detour. Here's another way to import footage into your project. You can drag it from Finder into the project panel. In this case, I'm dragging it into the bin, and that'll import it. So I'm going to rename this one Closing Shot, and I'm going to rename clip 4 Establishing. Establishing. All right, I'm going to double click on that. Now my playhead, let's put my playhead at the beginning, and I'm going to hit spacebar till after I say action. Now, I only want a portion of this starting right here. I'm not interested in me saying action off screen. So after action, I'm going to leave the playhead right there, and I'm going to hit I for in. Okay? It's pretty easy one to remember, hopefully. And now I'm going to hit spacebar again until I think I'm roughly uninterested in this shot anymore.
Oh my gosh, Annie, how are you? When was the last time I saw
Okay? There's a hug.
you? It was like, oh my gosh, it was so long ago.
Yeah, like, let's
Okay? There's a sit, and there's some rogue students on the side of the screen there. See the
students.
rogue students? All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end this shot as they're about to hug each other. Okay? Right around there. Now, if you notice, I'm going forward and back one frame at a time. That's your left and right key. That'll just go one frame at a time. If I hit O, then now if I click on this and drag it down to my timeline, it will drop it on my timeline, but only from where I set my in and out point. Okay, only from here to here.
It's not working.
Not working.
It won't drag. What do I
Okay.
click to drag?
Did you accidentally turn these off too?
Nope, they're on.
I just right click or left click, just
On the
click.
picture.
Yeah, just click on this right here, big.
Alright.
Yeah, click that and drag it down.
I was trying to put one timeline up there.
Now, if on this shot I was only interested in the video, I would click on this video icon and drag it down. See, only the video goes down. If I'm interested in only the audio from this shot, I would click on this little guy and drag it down. See, I can't drag it there, but I can right there. It'll drag the audio down only. Okay, I'm going to hit Command Z 2 times because I got audio and video already. Now, see how small this is down here? If I want to do edits to that clip is pretty small. If I want to see it bigger, then your plus key and your minus key up next to your delete key, it's dangerous. If I hit plus, then it'll show me that clip bigger. Okay? Now, by default, I have my selection tool. My selection tool will select this clip in the timeline, and it will allow me to, let's say I didn't get enough. I want to get more. I actually want to see this shot until they're just about to sit down. I can actually click on the edge of that clip and drag it out to the right, and I can keep dragging. See this thumbnail up here as I'm dragging to the right? It'll show me the clip, or it'll show me the frame that the end of the clip is on, and it'll extend it out and give me more time on that clip. Okay? That is called trimming. If I say trim it to the right, it means to take this and trim it and to get more time. If I trim the beginning of this clip to the right, what will I do?
You will be shortening it.
I will be shortening it and actually seeing less. So if I want this clip to start right when I see Annie's hand coming around that corner, then I would drag it to the right, and that'll give me less. Okay? But I'm happy with where I set my in and out points. So let's bring another clip into the timeline. Next, I'm going to do my two shot. And I'm going to find the frame where they're about to hug. Okay? And I'm going to hit what key to set my in point? I. Now, without watching this, where do you think the next place would make sense to cut?
Right after they sit down.
right after they sit down, right before they sit down, as they're sitting down? What do you think?
Right after they sit down.
Right after? Okay, let's go with that.
When was the last time I saw you?
What? A couple semesters ago?
Okay, a couple of semesters ago. Let's do it right after she's done saying that line. Okay. Hit what key to set the out point? O. All right. Let's physically drag this one down from here. And see that snap? Snap right up against the other one. Let's see how we did. I'm going to hit my home key to put my playhead at the beginning of the timeline. And I'm going to hit what key to play? Spacebar.
Oh my gosh, Annie, how are you? When was the last time I saw you?
What? A couple semesters ago?
All right. How was that? Perfect, right? It's kind of like, this is kind of like target practice, setting in and out points and dropping them down, because it's like, hopefully you're picking the right in and out point. But now that we've got these two clips on the timeline, we can see that there are some holes. It's not, it doesn't fit together in a seamless way. So let's watch it again and think about how we could make this fit together better.
Oh my gosh, Annie, how are you? When was the last time I saw you?
Okay. Action-wise, let me go to the intersection between these two. And I'm going to turn off my sound for a second. And if we just watch this visually, it looks like where Annie's arm position is here, it looks like it's farther back here. Let's go forward. Does that look more like where they were?
Yeah.
Okay, let me zoom in a little farther. I'm going to show you there. So we need to trim the left side of this clip right here. One way to do that is with your selection tool, which is this one right here. You could just drag that and it'll snap to the playhead because my playhead is on the frame. I'm looking at the frame that I want it to cut on. Okay, so that's snapped there, and then I can keep my selection tool and drag it till it snaps to the end of the other clip. Another way to do that is introducing the blade tool. If I mouse over my razor tool, razor tool, and click on it, what is the key command in parentheses next to the razor tool? C? How can we remember that the razor tool is the key command C? C for cut, right? Yay. So if I click on this, I will sever that clip. And now if I go to my selection tool, which key command is that? V. I can select that and hit the delete key, and it leaves a blank space. Here's a little trick. If I right click on this and I select Ripple Edit, then what it will do, watch it, is it will delete it and suck the other one in to remove that space all in one swoop. Let me tell you the third way to trim this clip and do the same thing. Here's a big time saver. Rather than razor tool, cut, right click, ripple delete, that takes a lot of time, right? That was like 5 steps. With my selection tool, if I hold down Command, oh no, sorry. I'm lying. Okay. No, you changed. I was going to show you how to ripple edit. Oh! Trim in, ripple, trim in. Okay. I'm such a liar right now. All right, so if you right click on this, you can do a ripple trim, and that turns it yellow. And then you can trim that to the playhead, and it'll ripple it. So it's the same thing as the ripple delete. I'll show you better ways to do that now that I've just retaught myself how to use Premiere. It did that same thing. Let me zoom out a little bit and undo my edit. Watch the right side of this. It extends it out. If I redo that edit, it'll bring it back in. Okay, so it keeps things connected when you ripple edit. That's all it does. Keeps them connected. Ripple editing is really easy to do when you're doing assembling clips on a timeline like this. But if you have audio, like a music track underneath that you're trying to like adjust audio timing as well, it could throw it off. So the farther down your edit you get, the more dangerous ripple editing becomes. But for this, it's great because then I don't have to delete that blank space every time. All right. Let's do more trimming and cutting and stuff. Let's find the next clip. Who's talking here? Let's see.
A couple semesters ago?
Okay, so Annie's saying something as they're sitting down.
Last time I saw you.
What? A couple semesters ago?
So who's likely to talk next? Maddie, right? So let's go to her over the shoulder shot and find and listen to what's happening in their conversation as they sit down.
Has to be for
This
last?
is last spring semester.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
Oh my gosh, so how many credits are you doing this year? Do we like that?
Yeah.
Sure. We have a 30-second scene. We only have 7 shots, and I guarantee there are over 100 ways to cut this. Okay. All right. Let me just stick. I'm going to just stick this whole thing in here. Oh no. Before I do that, let's pick it in our thumbnail viewer down here. If I, with this selected down in the project panel, down in the bottom left-hand corner, I have another little playhead that I can scrub through, and if at any time I hit spacebar,
Oh my gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
it'll play back in the thumbnail. Guess what I can also do in the thumbnail? In and out. You can set in and out points. So let's do it down here.
Spring semester.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So
Oh my gosh, so, although finding the exact frame is a little harder. So and I'm just going to go out here to the right somewhere because I don't know where I'm going to cut next and hit O. Now, let's pretend my playhead was just magically at the end here. There is a key command for dropping this in the timeline, and it is this overwrite thing, which is period. There's another one for inserting, which will actually cut in where your playhead is and scoot everything over and make room for it, which is your comma key. So with my playhead over here, nothing off to the right to risk losing, I can hit either comma or period and it'll drop it on the timeline. See, it's highlighted there in the project panel. I promise I just dropped it in. Okay, see there it is, the third clip. Let's see what happens if I just do a quick, just doesn't matter, in and out, and I hit comma. Well, with my playhead right here, if I hit comma with this in and out point set, it will cut everything that is on the playhead right there and shift it to the right to make room for that clip to go in. Okay? I heard a huh, so I think somebody already like understands that that could be really useful. Rather than dropping something on top, cutting, physically dragging everything out of the way, putting it in, and then selecting it all and physically dragging it back in. Okay, so that's a big time saver. But watch what happens if I hit period, which is the overwrite. It will actually drop it down, like delete everything that is in the way of it, and it'll put it over the top. Okay. Now, with the overwrite and the insert commands, it'll do it on any armed track. So let's pretend I want to do it over the top, but I don't want it to delete this clip. If I arm these with blue, turn those off, turn on video 2, and then arm these audio 3 and 4, guess what'll happen?
No sound.
Well, I've got audio 3 and 4 armed, so it will put sound there. If I hit period, it'll put it on the track above. So I still have this video from below, which means I still have the audio from that video. I saved it. It preserved those in my timeline. Now, video tracks, this is where this is called nonlinear editing. This is where your nonlinear editing definition comes about. I can have multiple clips on multiple video tracks just playing right over the top of each other. But whichever video track is on top, whatever clip is on the highest video track, that's the one you're going to see. It's just like Photoshop. Stacks from top to bottom. Whatever piece of paper is on the top of your stack, that's the one you're seeing. So it's like cutting, only I just placed a clip over the top.
However many 5 classes is.
5, so 15 credits.
That's weird because she's talking, but it's a reaction shot. So likewise, if I do comma, it will cut everything, move it over, but it'll still put it on video track 2 instead of video track 1 because video track 2 is armed at this point. Okay? All right, I saw a hand go up in the back.
I just had a question about, so video 4 would appear before video 1?
If you had a video track 4, here's how to make a video track 4. I'm just going to drag this up above. It makes a video track 4. No matter what clip, no matter what is on 1, 2, or 3, because this clip is on top, is on the highest, most visible track, that's the one that's going to show. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me hit Command Z a bunch of times. Just get this one back. Let's watch our scene for a second.
Oh my gosh, Annie, how are you? When was the last time I saw you?
What? A couple semesters ago?
Oh my gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
However many 5 classes is.
5, so 15 credits. Nice. I'm doing like 6, so.
All right. How was that shot? Were you interested in it the whole time? Why? Someone said no.
So rude.
Why? I shot that shot. Why aren't you just kidding?
focusing on her, Annie instead of.
You don't have any reaction.
Okay, so she asked Annie a question. Do we want to look at Annie when she's answering the question, or do we want to just stay focused on Maddie the whole time? It depends on the story you're trying to tell. What's important to this scene? What, right now this conversation's important. They're equally important to me, so I'm gonna find the shot that Annie's answering the question. Okay? All right, let's do that. Now let's use that insert edit function. Let's find the part, let's put our playhead right after Maddie asks the question.
However.
Oh, that's too late.
How many credits are you doing this year?
Okay, how many credits are you doing this year? I'm just going to leave the playhead there, right? Let's go to Annie's shot. Let's do Annie's over the shoulder shot, and let's look for the place where she answers the question.
Master before last?
So for us, how many credits are you taking this year?
There. I hit like I've been doing this a long time. I'm really good with that space bar. I can guarantee that I hit I there, and if I hit comma, it's going to be the right time. Except for I've got the rest of the clip in there, but that's fine right now. All right, let's look.
Oh my gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
Whoop. Why don't I have audio there?
There's no audio on 3 and 4. You said
That's
you
right.
have more.
Okay, let's try that again. Comma. All right, let's listen to it.
Gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
5 classes. How are
Okay, that looked pretty good, right?
Gorgeous.
So as an editor, let's manipulate this performance a little bit. That was a pretty natural, thought.
Gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
5.
So, Annie, you're an excellent actor. You were listening and you were processing the question in your mind before answering. That was good acting.
Woohoo!
But let's make her a bad actor. Let's have her just go right into the answer. How many credits do you take? 5. Right into it. Let's cut some of this space out. I'm going to zoom in. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick, and that is on the audio, you can use audio for editing timing. If I move my mouse over the intersection of audio 1 and audio 2, you'll see this little up and down arrow to expand that track down. That will show you the waveform. Waveform is called a waveform because it looks like waves in the sea, in the ocean. They go up and down. Anytime a waveform goes up and is high, big like this, that means there's sound being produced. There's audio. You're going to hear something if you see that. If you see it down like this, that means you're not hearing something. Even though we know this is where she's taking her gasp, she's doing her little, her little inhale. But let's pretend she doesn't think about that answer whatsoever, and we cut that bit out. Let's see what that looks like now.
Oh my gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
5 classes. How are
Let's cut it down even farther. This is the ha. That's 5 classes right there. Right into it.
Oh my gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
5 classes. How are
Okay. Which performance do you like better?
The one where she thinks about it.
The one where she thinks about it.
It's more drama.
Yeah. If you're making Wet Hot American Summer though, this is the one straight into it because you know the editing is bad, like purposefully bad. All right, I'm undoing a whole bunch of times because I actually did like the timing of that first one. Now, while we've got the audio open here, let's take a look at something. This shot was shot from far away, which means the microphone's far away, which affects the audio quality, right? Can we see mouths moving in this shot?
Nope, no.
So do you think maybe we could take the audio from the second shot, which sounds better, and just extend it underneath this shot and it would look okay?
Yes.
I think so too. Let's try that. All right. We're going to perform what we call a J cut because we're going to take the audio from shot number 2 and we're going to replace the audio from shot number 1 with it. Now, because we're only going to watch what I'm doing, watch what's happening as I select shot number 1 and shot number 2. I'm trying to select the audio and trim the audio, but the video is going along with it. That's because when we drag them down together, they're connected, they're linked. So you select one, you select them both. Here's how to select only one, and that is holding down Option or Alt if I select, I need to select something else first. If I select only the audio, that's going to select only that one clip. Then if I trim it back, it comes back and it leaves the rest behind. Okay. Now, here's some additional tricks. If I Alt draw a box, so I have to select outside the clip. Let me adjust this so I can see these a little better. If I select outside these two clips and draw a box while holding down Option, I can select them both and then trim them both simultaneously. It takes about as much effort to Alt and then Command Alt. No, that's not working. Alt Shift Select as it does to just draw a box. Okay, so whichever you get faster at, that's the most efficient way to do it, and that makes you the most valuable. All right, right now though, for me, I'm going to do a rolling edit because we have our selection tool. We've learned how to do this trim, right? So rather than trim this and then trim this, we could trim them both simultaneously using a rolling edit. It's like you take two pencils next to each other and you put your hand on them and you roll it like that. It moves both of them at the same time. That's what the rolling tool does. Your rolling tool is over here. It's this one with the bar in the middle and the arrows going out either side. What's the key command? N. Remember that one. So if I hit N, what I was trying to do before, this is even shorter. If I have the selection tool and I hold down Command, it temporarily turns it into the rolling tool. Cool, eh? Now I can drag these over and it will take away from clip 1 while simultaneously adding to clip 2. I need to go a little bit farther because I have audio in there. So I'm holding down Command and Alt right now in order to only do the audio. All right, so let's watch it and see if we are getting away.
Oh my gosh, Annie, how are you?
Great, how are you, Maddie?
When was the last time I saw you?
Okay, sounds better. Totally seamless because the action, the cut on the action, when I say cut on action, it's the action of extending the arms around one another, hug. That's the action. So if we wanted to cut on the action again to connect this shot with the over-the-shoulder shot, we would try to find a spot in the sitting down.
What, a couple semesters ago?
Okay, so we have, whoa, where did my audio go that time?
Oh my gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
Okay, so let's maybe, because we have pretty good timing with this, oh my gosh, and a couple semesters ago or whatever, let's see if we can do an L cut. Now, who wants to venture as to why this would be called a J cut?
Because you're keeping the bottom and raising the top. So it
Well,
looks like a J.
this intersection goes that way, which goes the J way. So if I roll this one, whoops, sorry, I'm only doing video now. So I need to Alt select the video, Command Alt with your selection tool, it turns it in. Okay. That looks like it'll actually maybe go together pretty well. This goes the L way, so that's an L cut. They're the same thing, as they just go to opposite directions. All right, let's see how my L cut looks.
What, a couple semesters ago?
Oh my gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
Either way is fine. Like, one's not right or wrong.
Semesters ago?
Oh my gosh. So how many credits?
For sake of the assignment, you need to have an L cut or a J cut, okay? Where the audio or the video in the cut happens at a different time than one another, okay? L cut or J cut, you need to have one or the other.
So is it just called a straight cut when you have
Yep.
video and audio together?
But do you know what a cut is? It's a transition.
Right.
It's a one-frame transition. It's just, you know, a straight cut from one clip to the next. All right, I'm happy with either one of these.
A couple semesters ago?
Oh my gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
And the continuity is okay because arm's in a slightly different position, but her head is kind of, well, I don't know. Open eyes, closed eyes, hand adjusting hair, not adjusting hair. There's some problems.
Yeah.
There's some problems here. Okay, let's fix them. Let me with my selection tool, Command and Option at the same time. Oh, I just figured it out. Okay, rolling tool. Roll it back till look at that side by side. You're seeing what the beginning frame of clip B and the end frame of clip A are simultaneously. So let's find the frame that looks like these will fit together the best. Tell me when.
Higher.
There? Let's try that.
Good job.
Okay, good job. Now we put the head back here, we hit spacebar, we watch it, and we see how I feel.
A couple semesters ago?
Oh my gosh. So how many credits are you doing this year?
5 classes. How many
5
even
classes.
this?
5 times 3 is 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need Maddie doing the math in her head?
Yes.
Sure. Or maybe the director says, I don't like that. Let's cut that out. So I'm the director. I'm going to say, let's cut that out.
Get that out.
All right. So let's go. Maddie's interjecting, right? So let's make her interject. We're not going to look at her before she starts talking because we're not expecting her to interject, right? So let's do that.
What are you doing this year?
5 classes. How many
5
even this?
classes.
Okay, so 5 classes. Let's do. We need to make this cut happen. So C for cut. Let's cut that. V for selection. If you go into your keyboard preferences, you can actually tell your small delete key over next to your end key to be a ripple delete. Okay, you can actually, because these are default keyboard preferences, it's not doing that. Or you can just right click on this and do a ripple delete and whoosh, there it goes, they suck up together.
How many
5
even this?
classes.
However many 5 classes is.
5, so 15 credits. Nice. And
All right, so 15 credits, nice, nice. So let's do it right there, right before she says 15. How do I know that's where, right before she says 15?
Their mouth.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Sound file.
if I look down here, if I look at the waveform, that's her 15, okay? I know she just said however many that is,
5, so
okay? 15. I'm gonna go back a frame so that I am sure I got her sound. Here's what I was trying to teach you before.
Okay.
Selection tool. It's doing it now. Weird. See how that turned yellow?
Yeah.
I held down the command key and it turned yellow and turned that into yellow brackets instead of red brackets. And now if I drag it over to there, it's going to ripple that. I didn't change it. It just worked suddenly. It didn't work before and now it's working. All right.
How many
5
even this?
classes. 15 credits. Nice. And
All right. Let's make another L cut. I didn't plan this. I'm going to go ahead and leave this Annie shot on track 2 because I can take the Maddie shot and put the audio down here on 3 and 4. And then I can just scoot Maddie underneath. Now I can just, if I want to change how much Maddie talks over Annie, I just scoot this in closer. Okay? So that's another way of doing a J cut, but without destroying either clip. Well, sorry, I'm not actually destroying the files, I'm just deleting parts of it from the timeline. So let's just see how this looks.
5 classes. How are we doing this?
15 credits. Nice. I'm doing.
Okay. So let's just try to make this work better by trimming Annie's shot a little bit longer. But I don't want the audio because, oh, actually it's okay. Well, hopefully you're getting what I'm going for. I just want to linger on Annie for a little bit longer.
Classes. How are we doing this?
15 credits. Nice. I'm doing like 6, so.
Okay. How'd you guys feel about that one?
It's a weird transition.
What's weird about it? Let's fix it.
It's like it's cutting her off too soon.
Cutting Annie off too soon?
Yeah.
Maddie's interjection is cutting off Maddie too soon?
Yeah, if you listen to it,
Okay.
again, it's like cutting off the first half of her word.
Okay, let's see.
How are we doing this?
15 credits. Nice. I'm
Okay. Let's have her come in a couple frames later then. Boop. And I also think we might be lingering on Annie's face just a little bit too long. So I'm going to trim this back.
15 credits. Nice. I'm doing like 6, so.
Let's go back a little farther and see how we feel.
This year.
5 classes. How are we doing this?
15 credits. Nice. I'm doing like 6, so.
Do you like that one better? Okay, I could keep changing it until it's flawless. But all right. Next thing we should do is, well, let's see how long this goes.
5 classes. How are we doing this?
15 credits. Nice. I'm doing like 6, so 18 credits. I'm super busy.
All right, we can let her keep talking a little longer.
I'm doing like 6, so 18 credits. I'm super busy.
Oh my gosh.
So I actually have to run to another.
All right, so we got a little reaction and an oh my gosh and stuff like that. Let's just do, because we have the shot, let's find a reaction shot of Annie's, but a close-up. This could be any frame, as long as the reaction makes sense.
Spring semester?
Yeah.
How many credits are you doing?
5 classes?
5 classes, so 15.
Yeah.
Right, 15. Nice. I'm doing the whole 6, so I'm super busy, fabulous, and busy. So I actually have to run. So I'll see you next time I see you.
All right, sounds good.
It's nice.
That's really good.
Should we do that one?
Yeah.
15 classes?
Ugh.
Just looking at her. Or, because she has a psi in this one.
So 18 credits. I'm super.
Okay, so there's a and she goes, I think she does that here too.
5 classes?
5 classes, so 15. Right,
Yeah.
15. Nice. I'm doing the whole 6, so I'm super busy.
Okay, there's the reaction right there. So let me just set an in and out point here. All right. Next keys, J, K, and L. The reason I just played that backward was because I hit J. J plays things in reverse. K stops things. And L plays things forward. Okay? If you'll notice on your keyboard, J, K, and L are right below I and O. So if you're a video gamer and you like first-person shooters, just switch your, just think, do it with your right hand instead of your left or whatever. Yeah, J, K, and L. Backward, stop,
Nice.
forward, stop. Or if you feel like you're really good at this, you can just hit I and O as it's playing. Okay, so I'm going to play it.
Nice. I'm doing
I.
the whole 6, so I'm super busy, fabulous, and busy.
But I hit I too early, so I'm going to play backward.
So that's easy for me. 6, so I'm super.
There. And now What's right below J, K, and L?
M.
Comma and a period.
Comma and period. I can drop that right down there in the timeline right now. If I do it though, I'm either gonna overwrite, because track 1 is armed. I'm gonna either overwrite it or, yeah. But I am only interested in the reaction. I already have the psi in the other take. So I'm gonna drag only the video down and I'm gonna place it right on top. Now I'm gonna need to find the right spot for it.
6, so 18 credits. I'm super busy.
Oh my
That was luck. I'm sorry. That was just lucky.
I'm doing like 6, so 18 credits. I'm super busy.
Oh my gosh.
So
Let's go right here. Let's go back to the 2-shot.
so
So let's just end it there. Find the 2-shot.
15. So you're rocking the 15 per semester.
Yeah.
I actually have to run to another class. So really, I'm just no.
Yeah.
I actually
I.
have to run
Space
to
bar.
another class. So see you when I see you, I guess.
Sounds good.
Schedules.
And then maybe I'll cut to my exit shot here as they stand up, right? Okay. My playhead's in the right spot. What should I hit? Period or comma, right?
Period.
I haven't touched my mouse in like a while. Okay. Up and down is going to put me at that in and out point. Also, if I want to look at just these last 2 shots, up and down will take me to edit points on the timeline for the armed track. Okay, so I don't have to go up, place my mouse here, click on it, move the playhead over every time. I can just hit up and down and it'll take me to edit points. Question? Oh, you're a little stretch. Okay, let's see how this looks.
15 credits. Nice. I'm doing like 6, so 18 credits. I'm super busy.
Oh my gosh.
So I actually have to run to another class. So see you when I see you, I guess.
I don't like that timing of that cut. Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
So I actually have to run to.
Let me just roll edit this video. So I'm going to hold Command and Option. Just roll this a little bit and see. It's not going to work. Both hands up to one hand down. Continuity. Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
So I actually have to run to another class. So see you when I see you, I guess.
Sounds good.
Schedules.
Does that look better?
Oh my gosh.
So I actually have to run to another class. So
Oh, that's no. This might this cut might not work very well. I might have to find a completely different part of her sentence to cut on. Ugh.
Gosh.
So I actually have to run to another class. So see you when I see you, I guess.
Let's ripple edit this out so I can get more of it, which will okay. How am I turning this into the ripple edit tool temporarily? Just Command. And if I put my mouse toward the end of that clip, it'll turn it yellow bracket. If while I'm holding down the Command, if I put it right over the intersection, it temporarily turns it into the rolling tool. So I can do a lot with just my selection tool and Command. All right, let's just drag a bunch of this out. Because that's the ripple, it just pushed the other clip off to the side to make room for more of the clip.
So I actually have to run to another class, but it's funny meeting you here. Anyway, so see you next time when I see you, but I have to run.
Okay, so see you next time when I see you.
Here anyway. So here anyway.
Okay, let's try try, actually, let's save some time. I was going to cut that, select it, and ripple delete it, but that's too many steps. I'm just going to hold down Command. I'm going to trim this back here. Then I'm going to find this second so in this clip.
I actually have to run to another class, so
Put the playhead there. Ripple that over here. See how those fit.
class, but it's funny meeting you here anyway. So see you when I see you.
Sounds good.
Schedules.
We might have to cut on them standing up. Actually, let's get rid of this clip. Let's see how the ending, the closing shot looks with them standing up. All right,
With a hitter, so.
let's drop. That's the so's just aren't working.
Super busy.
Oh my gosh.
So I actually have to run to another class, but it's funny meeting you here anyway.
Let's do like we did at the beginning. Let's options select those two audio clips, get rid of them. Put the closing shot on track 2 and just extend this out till they're done with their scene. And then hopefully the audio will be good enough that we can just let this be here. They start standing up.
You, I have to run.
All right.
All right, bye.
You missed the hug.
We missed the hug. The hug.
Comes and
I have
goes.
to run.
All right.
All right, bye.
Right. All right.
Let's cut this. C for cut.
All right, bye.
Right.
All right, bye. You, I have to run.
Now let's just select this and ripple delete that. See what that looks like.
Next time when I see you, I have to run. All right, bye.
Right.
It's a little weird. Okay, make yours better than mine. Yours, because I demonstrate, yeah, make yours better than mine. So your assignment to be turned in next week is to edit this scene together. You can do pretty much exactly what I did up until I started getting lazy and quit demonstrating very well. Try to use the close-up shots if you can. Maybe cut back and forth one more time because Annie does have another line in here. You could probably cut to. But yeah, there's a lot more to know if you figure out more. Hopefully I revisited using the command key with the selection tool to ripple, edit. We placed enough clips down on the timeline that you can place clips on the timeline comfortably. We used the insert keys, which are these, the period and the comma. I taught you playing backwards with J, stopping with K, playing forwards with L, setting in and out points with I and O, importing footage, organizing it into bins. You can set in and out points using thumbnail view or up here in your source monitor. And any other questions, anything else you want me to just do again so you can see it done again before we close the lecture?
How did you expand the audio again so we can see the waves?
Okay, the way you expand the audio so that you can see the waves is in between every track. You can, when you put your mouse over that border, you can expand it down. That was a good question. Any others? In the back here first.
Zoom in on your timeline.
Zooming in on the timeline, you do that by default, it'll zoom in on where your playhead is. So if you're interested in this spot, if you hit the plus key on your keyboard, it's next to your delete key. Well, it's actually your equal key, but you don't have to hit shift. You just plus and minus goes in and out. So there's no need to ever use your zoom tool. If you do, Learn your plus and minus key. Other question?
So I know you've gone over this like 600 times, but so when you're trying to just basically just delete a shot without using the cut,
Mm-hmm.
it's command with
Yeah.
with it.
Let me show you. Let me show you what's happening. So with a couple of clips so that you can see it. I've been zoomed in most of the time when I do it. Just for show. When you let's say I want everything on this clip from the playhead over to be gone, but I still want this clip where it is to be at the intersection. I can use my cut tool, my razor tool, cut that, select it, delete it, which leaves blank space, right? Then select everything over and move it that way. Okay. So you saw me move these two clips, right? If I undo enough times, that action is exactly what what the ripple trim tool does. So with my selection tool, if I don't hold anything down, no keys down right now, just click and trim this back, that's the same thing as cutting, selecting, and deleting. Okay, I just trimmed that portion of the clip away. What rippling does is if I hold down Command, it turns that bracket yellow. And then if I trim it, it will magnetically drag those other two clips along with it. Okay, that's what rippling does. If I ripple edit the left side of this clip, it will trim it this way and then pull everything in. Same kind of action. Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions? That was a good question too. Even if I've done it 20 times, I'll do it again for you. I want you to have it. This is like what we just did is like this is basic editing. Like every video project you do is going to have this involved. So if you can get really quick at selecting portions of clips, sometimes you may want to just. I've seen editors just take entire clips and stick them on their timeline over here like this, and then cut the parts out that they want and move it over. Like that's not wrong either. Okay. It's however it's going to make the most sense for you, because this is puzzle. This is spreading your puzzle pieces out on the table. Okay. This is pulling them out of the box. It's just different ways to think about editing. All right. Do you really not have any questions, or you just want to go? Question in the back?
Alright, so will this be on YouTube?
Yeah, I'll put this up on YouTube. Let's make sure I'm recording. Yeah, this will go up on YouTube. Okay, that's all I got for today. I'm going to stop recording now. Thanks. Come again next Wednesday.